Chapter 1. The Philosophy of Resistance. Most people want life to be easy. They beg for comfort, for relief, for things to finally make sense. But the strong, they don't beg, they build. They understand that the moment you remove resistance, you remove the very thing that makes you grow. Because nothing strong is ever born from softness. A sword becomes a weapon only after the fire. A man becomes unshakable only after the fall. Resistance is not the enemy. It asks the sculptor. It carves you, breaks you, reshapes you. It takes everything unnecessary and burns it away until what's left is real. Pain is not punishment. It asks the price of becoming someone you can respect. The weak ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The strong whisper, "Let us see what I am made of." And that small difference, that one decision changes everything. Because life is not supposed to be easy. It is supposed to test you. It is supposed to bend you just enough to see if you'll break, to see if you'll quit, to see if you truly want what you say you want. The strong don't run from that test. They seek it. They walk straight into discomfort because they know that inside that fire is the version of themselves they've been chasing. Most people fight resistance. The wise use it. They understand that hardship is not chaos. It asks structure. It asks the universe asking, "Do you mean it?" Every challenge is a conversation between you and your potential. And your answer is simple. You either keep going or you don't. So when the weight feels heavy, when the silence stretches too long, when the road makes no sense, remember this. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Every scar you've earned is a proof that you didn't surrender. Every failure is just unfinished strength. And every resistance you face is life's way of sculpting something eternal out of you. That is what the Stoics understood, that the obstacle isn't the interruption. It is the invitation. And that is why the strong choose resistance. Because comfort makes you forget who you are, but struggle reminds you. Chapter 2. The weight that shapes you. The world keeps telling you to let go, to drop the weight, to take it easy. But the truth is, the weight is what made you. It is not your victories that built you. It is everything that tried to break you and colded tea. It is every morning you didn't want to wake up, but did. Every task that felt impossible, but you showed up anyway. You see, the weight isn't there to crush you. It is there to carve you, to give shape to what would otherwise remain soft and undefined. A man without weight is a man without form. Without struggle, your strength has no anchor. Without burden, your soul has no muscle. The weak spend their lives escaping pressure. The strong, they invite it. They pick up what others drop. They carry what others fear. Because they know that responsibility is the gym of the soul. That is what Seneca meant when he said, "Fire tests gold, and adversity tests men." You can wish for strength and pray for ease in the same breath. You can dream of greatness and avoid the gravity that creates it. Every burden you carry is shaping you, the job you hate, the family you protect, the discipline you repeat. These aren't chains. They raid chisels. They refine your patience. They temper your ego. They teach you how to hold your own weight without collapsing under it. The strong understand something most never will, that heaviness is a privilege. Because only the strong are trusted with it. You don't build a bridge out of glass. And you don't give purpose to a man who hasn't suffered. Pressure is proof that you are meant for something more. And if it hurts, good. It is supposed to. That is how you know you are still alive, still moving, still unfinished. Stop running from the things that weigh you down. Learn to carry them differently. Shift your posture. Find your balance. Because every ounce you lift today becomes armor tomorrow. This is the quiet law of strength. The heavier the load, the stronger the foundation. So when life puts another stone on your shoulders, don't curse the weight, thank it. Because that S not life against you, that S life building you. And when one day you look back, you'll realize the weight never broke you. It built your spine, it gave you shape, it made you real. That S what the strong know, without weight, you drift, but with it, you stand. Chapter 3. The enemy within the hardest war is never fought outside. It is fought inside your own skull, between what you could be and what you settle for. Every man has an enemy that looks just like him. He speaks in your voice. He tells you to take it easy. He tells you you've done enough. He tells you tomorrow is safer. That voice, that S not laziness. That S fear, disguised as comfort. That S your potential, begging you to stop chasing it. The enemy within doesn't come with a sword. He comes with reasons. He doesn't fight you in the gym or the world. He fights you in the moment before you start. He whispers, "You tired." He says, "You deserve a break." And if you listen, you lose quietly. Because the internal war is always silent. No one claps when you win. No one sees when you fall. But every choice, every day, either feeds your strength or fattens your weakness. The strong know this war well. They wake up already wounded, but ready. They know that discipline is not something you feel. It is something you become. They know that the longer you negotiate with weakness, the stronger it grows. There is a moment each morning when you must decide who you will serve, your comfort or your command. Because inside every man there are two wolves, one built of purpose and one built of excuses. The one that wins is the one you feed. Every repetition, every silence, every promise kept when no one is watching. The Stoics understood that the mind is both the cage and the key. You can chain yourself with thoughts of failure, or you can use them as proof that the battle matters. The enemy within wants peace at any cost, but peace without victory is slavery. So the strong fight, not loudly, not dramatically, but persistently. Every time they feel resistance, they move toward it. Every time fear speaks, they answer with action. That is how the strong live. They treat every weakness as a weight. They lift it, they repeat, they grow, until the voice inside that once said you can starts whispering, try again. Because the truth is your greatest opponent has always been wearing your face. And the day you conquer him, the world outside will never scare you again. Chapter 4. The mirror of struggle. Every struggle you face holds a mirror to your soul. It doesn't show who you wish to be. It shows who you truly are. The world breaks you down not out of cruelty, but to strip away the lies you built about yourself. When everything is comfortable, you live in illusion. You think you patient until waiting tests you. You think you disciplined until temptation smiles. You think you humble until pride is wounded. That is when the mirror appears, and it doesn't lie. Pain reflects truth. Failure reflects honesty. Loss reflects value. That is why the strong don't run from struggle. They stare into it until it reveals something real. Most people avoid their reflection because it is ugly at first. It shows their envy, their anger, their ego. It shows how fragile their confidence truly is. But the strong, they don't look away. They study it. They learn from it. They use that reflection as a map back to authenticity. You don't find strength in comfort. You find it in confrontation, not with others, but with your own reflection. When life breaks your plans, it is not rejection. It is exposure. It shows you whether you built your confidence on outcomes or on identity. And that is what the Stoics taught. The only thing you truly own is your response. Everything else can be taken. Your job, your reputation, your possessions. But how you face it, that is yours forever. That is why Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, Look within. Within is the fountain of good, because all change, all power, all peace start when you dare to look inward, without filters, without excuses. The mirror of struggle is cruel at first. It humbles you, exposes you, dismantles you. But over time, it begins to rebuild you. Each reflection becomes clearer, calmer, and less about who you were and more about who you are becoming. When you finally stop running, you realize the mirror was never your enemy. It was your teacher. It was trying to show you the version of yourself that pain had been preparing all along. So stare into the mirror of your struggle. Don't flinch. Don't look away. Because the reflection you fear the most is the one that will set you free. Chapter 5. Action over words. The world is full of talkers. People who worship intention but never move. They speak of change, of vision, of purpose, but their actions never leave the ground. Words are easy. Movement costs something. The weak talk about discipline. The strong do it, because the strong understand. Truth lives in action. You can lie with words, but you can lie with movement. The gym doesn't care what you say you lift. The morning doesn't care what time you promise to wake up. Life doesn't care about your goals, your vision board, or your plans. It only answers one question. Did you show up or not? That asks what defines a man. Not what he claims, but what he repeats. Not what he intends, but what he endures. The Stoics lived by this law. Marcus Aurelius wrote not for applause, but as a reminder to act. Seneca said that philosophy means nothing if it doesn't change how you live, how you treat others, how you hold yourself in the dark when no one sees. Action is the final proof of belief. You can speak wisdom all day, but if you don't live it, it has noise. That is why the strong move in silence. They don't announce. They execute. They don't promise. They produce. Because every time you act, you take something abstract and make it real. You bridge the gap between who you are and who you claim to be. The strong don't need validation. Their results speak louder than their mouths ever could. You never hear a real warrior say, I am disciplined. He just is. He doesn't need to post it. He doesn't need to prove it. He embodies it. Action is the only language reality understands. You can trick the world into believing you strong. You have to demonstrate it, step by step, choice by choice. When your mind says later, your body must move now. When fear says wait, your heart must say go. That is how the gap closes. That is how the strong life. Stop explaining yourself. Stop talking about what you do. Start building proof. Start earning silence. Because the truth is one act of discipline is worth more than 1,000 promises. And when it is all said and done, no one remembers what you said. They remember what you did. Chapter 6. The energy of success. Success isn't lightning. It is fire, not something that strikes once, but something that burns slow and steady, and only inside those who can sustain it. Everyone wants success to feel electric. They wait for that flash of motivation, that perfect mood, that sign. But the strong, they stopped waiting long ago. They don't chase sparks. They build furnaces. The energy of success isn't excitement. It is consistency. It is the quiet, steady rhythm of someone who shows up even when the world feels heavy. Real power doesn't shout. It hums. You feel it in the calm man who walks with direction, in the one who works when no one claps, in the one who has to focus to explain what he is doing. The weak burn bright and die fast. The strong burn slow and last forever, because they learned that emotion is unreliable. Energy built on motivation fades by morning, but energy built on purpose, that is eternal. Success isn't about how fast you move. It is about how long you can keep going after the noise fades. after inspiration dies, after nobody asks watching anymore. That S where energy becomes fuel, not a feeling. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. They called it inner fire, the flame of reason, discipline, and will. It has the energy that doesn't depend on the weather, on luck, on applause. It has self-generated. It has built by doing what must be done every single day until it becomes who you are. Every repetition adds wood to that fire. Every sacrifice gives it oxygen. Every refusal to quit makes it burn cleaner, brighter, stronger. You don't find energy. You create it. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You become it. The strong know that energy follows motion, that once you take the first step, the body wakes, the mind sharpens, the spirit rises. That's why they never stop moving, not because it's easy, but because movement itself is life. The weak waste energy on complaining. The strong spend it on creating. They know that where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, destiny grows. So guard your energy like your breath. Feed it with purpose. Protect it from noise. Use it for building, not boasting. Because success isn't a storm that visits you. It is a fire that waits for you to ignite it. The strong don't chase it. They become it. And when that energy finally radiates from within, the world feels it, respects it, and moves around it. Chapter 7. The forging of character. Character is not something you are born with. It is something the world extracts from you, painfully, relentlessly, piece by piece. You don't find character in good times. You forge it in the fire of repetition, humiliation, loss, and silence. You build it every time you keep your word when nobody is checking. You strengthen it every time you choose discipline over desire. That is what separates men who seem strong from men who are. Character is not charm. It is not popularity. It is the quiet, invisible strength that remains when everything superficial burns away. Most people decorate their surface, the strong polish their core. Every Stoic understood this law. You are not judged by what you say, but by what you can endure. Character is the spine that doesn't bend when fear whispers. It is the calm voice that says, I will not betray myself, even when temptation calls sweetly. You can fake it, because the world will test you and it never asks if you're ready. Life doesn't send warnings. It sends circumstances, and when they arrive, you reveal who you've been training to be. That is why the strong build character in private, because when the storm hits, there is no time to prepare. Every difficult day, every failure, every lonely night, they ray all sparks against the iron of your will. The heat hurts, but without it, you remain shapeless. A man who avoids pain avoids depth. He stays smooth, glossy, untouched, and therefore hollow. But the one who embraces the process emerges raw, scarred, and real. That is character, not perfect, but earned. The strong know this truth. The same fire that destroys the weak purifies the disciplined. That is why they stop asking, why me, and start asking, what is this making of me? Every rejection, every betrayal, every failure that cuts deep, it is not punishment. It is metal work. It is the universe hammering you into someone solid, and that is the price of real power. Not fame, not comfort, not applause, but the unshakable knowledge that you can stand through anything and remain yourself. Character isn't built when you win. It is revealed when you could have broken but didn't. That is the moment the forging ends, and the becoming begins. Chapter 8. Faith and intention. Faith is not religion. It is not prayer. It is the discipline of walking forward when logic tells you to turn back. It is the quiet decision to trust your direction even when the road disappears beneath your feet. Faith is not hope. Hope waits. Faith moves. It asks what separates dreamers from doers, because while hope stares at the horizon, faith starts walking toward it. Most people need certainty before they act. The strong act before they raise certain. Because they understand that clarity doesn't come first, movement does. They know that intention, when repeated enough, becomes gravity. It bends the world around it. Intention is invisible, but it asks the most powerful force you own. It asks the quiet why behind every repetition, every sacrifice, every choice. Without intention, discipline dies. Without faith, even the strongest plan collapses. Faith isn't believing everything will work out. It asks knowing that you will, no matter how it ends. It asks the calm inside the storm, the patience that doesn't expire, the quiet nod that says, I don't know how, but I'll handle it. Seneca said, fortune falls heavily on those who expect nothing of themselves. Faith is expecting something of yourself, even when life stops cooperating. Because the strong don't rely on signs. They rely on standards. They don't wait for blessings. They become them through action, repetition, and belief. Intention turns chaos into direction. It turns random days into a path. It turns pain into progress. Without intention, you just surviving. With it, every hardship becomes part of design. That's why the strong move with purpose, not noise. They know that once you decide what you stand for, every storm becomes navigable. You can doubt the outcome. You can fear the distance, but never doubt your direction. Faith is not about trusting that it'll be easy. It's about knowing you'll stay steady when it asks not. And intention, it asks the compass that never lies, even when the map burns. So keep walking, keep building, keep believing in the work, not the applause. Because the moment you let faith and intention fuse, you stop chasing miracles and start creating them. Chapter 9. The power of repetition. Repetition. The word sounds small, mechanical, ordinary, but it asks the secret behind every kind of mastery. Every Stoic knew this truth. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your training. Repetition isn't glamorous. It doesn't feed the ego. It doesn't post well on social media. It asks quiet, invisible, relentless. It asks what you do when you're tired, when no one is watching, when it asks just you and the silence of your own standards. The weak hate repetition because it exposes their boredom. The strong love repetition because it exposes their weakness. Every repetition is a confrontation between what you were yesterday and what you were willing to become today. You can read 1,000 books about self-control, but until you practice it daily, you don't own it. You can talk about discipline forever, but until you repeat it until it reflex, it still theory. Success doesn't come from sudden greatness. It comes from the man who shows up again, and again, and again, long after emotion is gone. Every rep is a vote for the man you claim to be. A vote cast in sweat and time, and over months, over years those votes turn identity into reality. That's how the Stoics built strength, through habit, not hype. They practiced temperance every morning, gratitude every night, and awareness in every breath, until philosophy wasn't something they studied, but something they became. The strong understand this. Mastery isn't intensity. It asks consistency. Anyone can give effort once. If you can give it forever, repetition kills doubt. Because when you've done something 1,000 times, fear has no leverage. Your confidence isn't motivation. It asks memory, and that asks the beauty of it. You don't have to trust the future. You only have to trust your next rep. So repeat until the world gets quiet. Repeat until thought becomes instinct. Repeat until action feels like breathing. Because repetition is how mortals become machines and machines become masters. The weak chase novelty, the strong chase refinement, and when the work becomes sacred, repetition becomes prayer. That is why the strong never ask, "When will this end?" They ask, "How can I go deeper?" Because repetition doesn't just build muscle, it builds meaning. It forges a kind of peace that only those who've stayed can feel. And one day, without realizing it, you'll wake up and see that the man you dreamed of being is simply the result of everything you've done on the days you didn't want to do it. That is the power of repetition, not glory, not noise, just proof. Chapter 10. The hidden exam. The hardest tests in life never announce themselves. There is no warning, no timer, no room to prepare. They arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary days, small moments, simple choices. You don't realize it as a test until it is already over. Until you look back and see the question that life asked, "Were you ready?" That is the cruelty and the beauty of existence. Every moment is an unseen exam. Every word, every reaction, every silence is an answer you give to the world about who you are. The weak wait for obvious challenges, the battle, the speech, the stage. But the strong, they know that the real test happens long before that. In the discipline to rise when tired, in the restraint to stay calm when insulted, in the courage to do what is right when no one is watching. That is the hidden exam. It doesn't test your knowledge. It tests your nature. It doesn't care what you believe, only what you practice. You can cheat it. You can skip it. You can talk your way through it. Because the test isn't on paper. It is carved into your habits. The strong prepare for it every day without knowing. Every repetition, every moment of patience, every choice to stay humble when pride tempts you. That is your study. That is your training. One day, something will break unexpectedly. A relationship, a plan, a body, a dream. And you'll have no script, no guidance, no comfort, just you and the foundation you've built. That is when the truth comes out. The man who trained only for success collapses. The man who trained for struggle endures. The Stoics called it premeditatio malorum, the practice of imagining hardship before it happens. So when it arrives, you recognize it. You don't panic. You nod. You've met this test before, in the quiet. Because life doesn't reward those who can perform when it is easy. It honors those who remain unshaken when it is hard. That is the essence of strength, to live every day as preparation for the unknown. To be ready not because you expect trouble, but because you've trained your soul to stay steady when it comes. So when that hidden exam appears, when life whispers, "Let us see what you've learned," you want flinch. You want run. You simply breathe, look it in the eye, and move. Because the strong don't need to know what is coming. They've already built themselves for whatever does.